Yeah, y'all, I believe the end of the world is finna happen soon. Why did the new pope just get gifted a pale white horse, y'all? Look at the video. Can't make this up. Pale white horse, y'all.
What is going on with the music industry, y'all? What did they do to NLE Choppa? Like, when did they have him started doing dances like Michael Jackson? This is not the NLE Choppa I remember, y'all. Like, the NLE Choppa I remember.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here to the channel, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebook, anything weird, unusual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Say it with me, y'all. Yeah, I know what we do. Let's seek the truth.
Is going on around the world right now. In Norway, children are not graded on their work until they're about 12 or 13 years old. So they just learn all. It's visible from space. And this is because 150,000 floodlights are installed by India along the frontier. Italy's oldest barista, who has served coffee since World War II, just turned 101 years old.
Wow.
It is apparently illegal for employers in Portugal to contact employees after work hours. Apparently, if you were to visit one lake per day in Canada, it would take you 5,000 years to visit all of them. 60% of all lakes on Earth are in Canada, apparently. What?
Not looking good for the next generation, and it's probably not their fault.
I think that you guys don't know what's going on in education right now. That's
A lot of
fine.
us
Like,
don't.
how could you know unless you were working in it? But I think you need to know. So here is exactly what it's like right now working in public education. First of all, the kids have no ability to be bored whatsoever. They live on their phones and they're just fed a constant stream of dopamine from the minute their eyes wake up in the morning until they go to sleep at night. Because they're in a constant state of dopamine withdrawal at school, they behave like addicts. They're super emotional, like the smallest thing sets them off. And when you are standing in front of them, trying to teach, they're vacant. They have no ability to tune in if your communication isn't packaged in short little clips or if it doesn't have like bright flashing lights. That's actually the way harder part for me than just the outward behaviors. It's just being up at the front, talking to a group of kids who have their eyes open, they're looking at me, but they're not there. They're not there. And they have a level of apathy that I've never seen before in my whole career. Punishments don't work because they don't care about them. They don't care about grades. They don't care about college. It's like you are interacting with them briefly in between hits of the internet, which is their real life. I've seen some TikToks recently where teachers are getting a lot of hate, like for not adapting to the kids or punishing them or whatever. And I just gotta say, like, I can tell you with absolute certainty, it is not the teacher's fault. It might be the parents' fault. It might be our capitalistic society's fault.
Stay weird.
But it is not the teacher's fault.
And look to everyone as if she's found the fountain of youth all over again. If you haven't seen the images, take a look at this. Kris Jenner looks amazing for 70 years old. The theme of the birthday party, cleverly named 0070. Her look for the party was just breathtaking, incredible. She looked amazing. This event was a star-studded event, including Mariah Carey. Some even taken note that Mariah Carey, who is 55 years old, looked like she found the fountain of youth as well. As you can see from the images that Kris Jenner released, everything was in red. Here's Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. They're the ones that hosted this event in their home. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife were also in attendance.
The elite.
So happy birthday to Kris Jenner. And I guess my question to you is, has Kris Jenner found the fountain of youth? Or is it good genes or good docs? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
You know, if God did not shorten the days in the end times, then there would be no flesh saved. That that is going to get so bad on the earth that no human flesh would be saved unless God quickened Jesus's coming. So I'm reading from the Bible app Haven, and it says in Matthew 24, verse 22, Jesus is saying, mind you, this is God's words and except those days be shortened, there would be no flesh saved. Humans have flesh. Think about what doesn't have flesh.
People are freaking out, realizing why this actually happens. If your ears ever do this, then you're gonna need to hear this. Most people get that random ringing in their ears from time to time. But most people don't actually know what this is, they just say it's one of those things. Now, this sounds scary, but it's not actually, so stick with me. Neuroscientists have done a lot of research on this and say that ear ringing is your brain literally warning you that you've experienced a small amount of permanent hearing damage. There is, of course, a ridiculously big spectrum of frequencies. So when one gets chopped in and you're never going to hear it again, it's not really going to make a difference to you. Now, this actual occurrence is known as temporary threshold shift. This is where the tiny hairs in your inner ear get overstimulated by a very loud sound. It could be a car going past, a motorbike, traffic, gym, speakers, anything. Now, when those cells get damaged, your brain actually fills in the gaps with electrical noise which you hear as the ringing in your ears. Now, most people think the ringing in their ears is tinnitus. That's the thing that everybody says it is. But it's actually not. That's a more severe case. If you get this on an occasion like once a week, 2 times a week, then it could be a mild case of tinnitus. But if it's very random, the chances are you've just heard a very loud noise, they're ringing a bit, and it is absolutely fine.
Yeah, y'all, I believe the end of the world is finna happen soon. Why did the new Pope just get gifted a pale white horse, y'all? Look at the video. Can't make this up. Pale white horse, y'all.
Ain't in towns now?
Y'all keep thinking shit is a game. Shit is moving very, very quickly. I just advise everybody to prepare. Stay prepared, y'all. Because 2026 is about to be the most craziest year we ever had. Y'all don't believe me? Make sure you follow. I'm gonna get y'all through this shit.
How is it possible?
I think 2026 about to be the most craziest year we about to have, bro. And that passage, man, I read about the horse saying what it will lead to. And they gave it to the Pope, and you know, he's a spiritual figure, so 2 and 2, man, it's adding up.
Possible for an Amtrak train filled with 253 passengers to just vanish. So get this shit. Allegedly, an Amtrak train leaves St. Louis going to Chicago, and his shit winds up missing. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Listen to what this man said.
I'm out.
You hear that shit?
The train that left from here at 8 o'clock this morning. The train that left St. Louis at 8 a.m. to make it to Chicago, he said. That's a little, and they don't even know, like they lost communication with the train. That's some scary stuff.
That man basically said, you guys can enter this train if you want to. It's not on us. Whatever is going on with these trains don't got shit to do with us. Y'all can get on this train if you want. But we're not saying that you're going to get to your destination safe. So basically a train with 253 people was missing. They lost it. No communication, no nothing. Mind you, they're saying that that train could have quote-unquote derailed and they didn't even know. Here it is. The train left St. Louis on its way to Chicago and they have no contact with anybody. Nobody at all that was on that train. That shit don't sound right. As soon as I hear more about this shit, I'm gonna let you know what happened. I'm out.
UK government is set to narrow the width of their roads across the country for the safety of cyclists. Now, Mail on Sunday report that according to official guidance quietly published last week, the standard 12-foot width of a road in Britain should shrink to 10 foot 8 inches so that cars don't have enough space to try and overtake cyclists, therefore causing fewer accidents. They say they should also allow for cyclists to ride more centrally in the road. However, in some cases, they also say that it could be expanded to at least 12 foot 10 inches, giving more room to overtake. For perspective, 12 foot has been the standard width of road in Britain for nearly 150 years. Now, Mail on Sunday say that the guidance will be applied to billions of pounds of future road building schemes, and local authorities which defy the recommendations could see reduced transport funding. The Standard report that ATE guidance is not legally binding, however, councils are expected to follow it. The question is this a good idea or not.
See that
I
news
don't
story
think so.
recently that was it happened in Spain. This woman was doing a experiment, and she was going to be living in a cave underground for 500 days. The only human interaction she had was, I think it was like weekly or monthly visits from doctors just to check on her, and that was it. And they wouldn't update her on anything. They wouldn't tell her what day it was. They would not do anything. And so she laid under there. There's videos of her doing like workouts and exercises and stuff, and vlogging, pretty much just telling her experience.
Right?
No sun at all. 500 days. Then they pull her out, and she's like almost resisting because she thinks it's only been, what she's been tracking, only been 120, 150 days. She only believed it would only have that many days had passed.
She just
And
lost
complete lost time, everything. I mean, imagine your sleep cycles, how messed up they would be. It's absolutely terrifying. Think about being alone in a cave for 500 days.
Nope.
Do you see those cave exploring videos? Like when they're crawling?
We talked about this before in the podcast, but it gives me so much anxiety. Have you seen those videos? You feel like the LeBron James thing on Kai Stream? They paid him to do that.
I think I brought something good in my bag.
What you got?
Got my LV bag with a little boo-boo.
Okay.
Which one? So he went on Kai Stream, and it was like he emphasized that he had a Labubu on his little Louis V bag. Oh, my little Louis V with my Labubu.
How much you think he got paid to bring the Labubu there, bro? Like one mention.
That's all he needed.
I think maybe $2 million.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah.
So I'm like, Japanese scientists just created a drug that regrows human teeth, real teeth, with enamel, nerves, roots, everything. It's called TRG-035. Here's how it works. Humans actually have a hidden third set of teeth in our jaws. They never grow because a protein called USAG1 keeps them shut down like a brake. This drug blocks USAG1, removes the brake, activates dormant tooth buds, and new teeth start growing naturally. They tested it on mice with missing teeth, single injection, fully functional teeth regrew, complete with all natural components, and human trials have already started. 30 adult men testing it right now to see if it works the same way in humans. If it does, this eliminates dental implants. No more drilling titanium screws into your jaw, no more dentures, no more bridges. Just an injection and your body regrows the tooth on its own. And this isn't just about teeth. This proves regenerative medicine actually works. We can regrow teeth. What else can we regrow? Organs, limbs, tissue. The regulatory approval process means it's still years away from being widely available, but human trials are happening right now. When you can regrow complex organs with a single injection, medicine changes forever, and it's already begun. Those who
It's like we're lizards now, bro.
freak you out. Beta Austin has stumbled upon some pretty wild stuff. Let salt water evaporate in a petri dish with a pyramid in it. The salt water crystallized into little mini pyramids. Now to test this, she used the same salt water and let it evaporate without the pyramid, and it formed its normal cubical shape. Now, water is pretty unique in the universe. If you get it in your car motor, it'll lock it up and bend all the metal. It's also how we turn turbines in coal plants. It exists in all 3 states on the planet, and it is a very powerful solvent. Its molecules are shaped like hexagons. You see this when it freezes. This means that anything that is dissolved in it can be stored in it, which is why you should always filter and realign your water if you can. I've shown you through cymatics that your DNA also shares this same shape, and using cymatics we can read it like a song. If Beta left this in a fire room, it's probably resonating at the Schumann resonance, about 7 hertz, the resonance of the planet. That crystal vibrates, it transmits that vibration to the salt crystals via the water. It's a fantastic research paper on this by How Science. They transmitted an entire genetic sequence through water using 7 hertz. They put 2 beakers of water next to each other. One was pure water, one was DNA. They then subjected them both to 7 hertz and waited 18 hours. After using a polymerase reaction, they recreated the DNA. If that wasn't enough, a team of researchers made a hard drive using the same technique. It stored the data of 2 trillion CDs in a gram, and it read it 10,000 times faster.
Damn, okay. What if we do got some of the same memory, bro?
The real Jake Paul has now finally made a response to all of those AI videos, and he is pissed.
I've had it with the AI stuff. It's affecting my relationships, businesses. People are hitting me up saying, yo, did you say that? Really affecting things, and honestly, it's like people need to get a life. I'm going to be suing everybody that is continuing to spread these false narratives of me doing shit that I would literally never ever do. Be ready for lawsuits.
It's actually sad to see that Jake can't take a joke, and not only did Jake Paul respond, but also Jake Paul's wife responded, and it's so sad for me to see that somebody that I used to think is the most funniest YouTuber, which is Jake Paul, saying that he is going to sue everybody over silly videos, even though in Jake's response video, he is literally doing makeup himself. Maybe the reason why Jake Paul is so mad is because a lot of people say that they like this version of Jake Paul more better than the real one, because it would have been such a W if Jake Paul just embraced the joke. And now that Jake Paul's girlfriend has responded to all these videos, this is where it gets so much more insaner. And a lot of people are saying that the only reason why Jake Paul's fiance is actually mad is because she wishes he dressed that cute IRL. Should Jake Paul be mad about this?
What is going on with the music industry, y'all? What did they do to NLE Choppa? Like, when did they have him start doing dances like Michael Jackson? This is not the NLE Choppa I remember, y'all. Like, the NLE Choppa I remember during COVID times was actually putting people on, teaching people to meditate and eat clean and be vegan and all this type of stuff. What did they do to him? He looks like a completely different person, y'all. Like, does he look familiar? Even like the way that he dances. Y'all see that? What is going on here? Y'all think this is some type of humiliation ritual? You guys know how Hollywood is. I mean, come on. What happened to like NBA's, you know, just bobbing and weaving, you know what I'm saying? Now he's got like this whole Chris Brown, Michael Jackson thing going on. Can y'all see that? Don't he be moving like Chris Brown? Look at this, y'all. They don't look familiar to y'all? What? Nonetheless, something is different about NLE Choppa, y'all. Because wasn't he actually trying to help Young Boy? He literally made a song 6 years ago called Free Young Boy. Y'all see how different he looks? He almost looks and moves like a whole total different person. Can y'all agree? But music has changed, man. And all these people that we grew up with also have changed, man. It's not the same no more. Let me know that in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue.
Shoes off and run. Fast. I'm not kidding, this could save your life one day, so make sure you stay till the end of this video. If you're walking on the beach and you come across something that looks like this, you're in extreme danger. But before I tell you why, I found a way that you can prank your friends and spam text them at maximum speed. If you want to prank your friends, just click the link in the comments. This thing is called the lion's mane jellyfish. And these things can be up to 120 feet long. And you do not want to get stung by one of these, so make sure you warn your friends. 43 monkeys have escaped from a biolab research center in South Carolina, and authorities are urging residents to keep their doors and windows securely closed. We really about to have Planet of the Apes. Before it said that their escape was due to human error, with a member of staff failing to lock the doors behind them. And if you were worried, we're about to have Caesar 2.0. Luckily, none of these monkeys have been used in lab testing, and they are too young to carry diseases. Only real problem is that they're freaking hard to catch, because when you chase them, they just scatter. And catching all 43 is going to take a while. More expectations.
Planet of the Apes, bro, part 2. How could somebody on the job, man, not lock up after they was done with them, bro? Now they all scattered all around, bro. Imagine chasing some monkeys around, bro. In South Carolina, too? That's crazy. Hey, man, we gotta be on the lookout, bro. If we see anything, bro, resembling Planet of the Apes, it's gonna start in South Carolina, bro. Confirmed.
Here's how this man became the best personal trainer in the world. His name is JJ Peterson, and he's always been at the forefront of fitness in the media, and he's a great gymnast and athlete. When he decided to help this man lose weight, he had no idea how challenging it would be and how it would change his life forever. The first time JJ met Ray Stewart, he explained exactly what he was going to do. He wanted to go on the journey of losing weight with him, so he made the decision to gain 60 pounds. Ray was at the weight of over 360 pounds, and JJ wanted to know what it would be like to lose the weight with him. So JJ started eating everything unhealthy in sight, like candy, soda, and pizza. After a bit of time, JJ gained 60 pounds and was now stressed physically and emotionally. And what happened next will completely shock you, so hit the plus for part 2.
Hey man, we gotta find part 2 to that amazing journey, bro.
Gruesome torture methods that you'll be glad you weren't around for. Part 1. The brazen bull execution was a method used in ancient Greece where a flame at the bottom roasted you to death, and the head of the bull was designed in such a way that your screams would be filtered and contorted into the sounds of a real bull. On pirate ships, workers who refused to follow orders would be hung by their nails. Another method used by pirates was called keel hauling, in which the men were dragged under the ship until they died. And if this wasn't bad enough, the ship's hull was covered in barnacles so the man would be cut up as he drowned. Scaphism was an ancient Persian torture technique where criminals were stripped naked, tied to a boat, and then force-fed honey and milk until they got diarrhea, were covered in more honey and set adrift in the ocean. This would then attract insects that would slowly but surely eat the men to death.
That's the worst one, man. Getting eaten by insects, bro. That's like that slow burn. Having to go through all that. No, not for me, man.
Here's what angels actually look like according to the Bible. They're quite terrifying. Many people think that angels just look like this, a human with wings, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. According to the Bible, they actually looked quite horrifying, like I'm about to show you, and it's going to make sense why angels said, "Do not be afraid" when they appeared to humans.
Real angel forms?
And I can't tell what it is.
Brother, you're about to die. I'm just kidding, it's a fisher cat, which isn't actually a cat, and apparently they don't even fish because the naming guy had a stinker. Like the guy that named a not an eel an eel, or a not a shrimp, and this not a badger but a honey badger. Speaking of honey badger, they pull up to the same family reunion, and as a mustelid, they're also related to otters and weasels. The fisher cat, not to be confused with the fishing cat, that's also real, is basically a travel-sized Wolverine. And don't let the Pharaoh fool you, they've been known to run fades with lynxes. And win. It's also proven that they'll pass tense a porcupine and live to do it again. And yeah, they're a lot bigger than I thought they were. This is what one about to catch a body looks like. Brother, my guy, you are getting hunted. I'm just kidding again. He's just being curious. Say that, cuz if he was really on timing, you would not be seeing him. Might hear him though. If you've ever been in the woods and heard the sounds of a woman getting escorted off the census, chances are you just heard a fisher family. Or at least that's what I thought. Apparently fishers don't make that much noise in general, and the scream thing is probably a myth. And the more I know. Another myth is that they snatch children. While I'm sure someone in the history of mankind's gotten folded by a featherweight Wolverine, they usually avoid people, so you probably did something to deserve it. So yeah, the cameraman's in no danger, and that's not a fisher or a cat, but it's somehow both. But if the fisher's not a screamer, what is this?
It's an awful sound.
This boy was bullied every day for his rabbit teeth, then he did something unbelievable. Evan Hill is a normal 10-year-old boy in New Zealand, except for one thing. He had giant front teeth. Evan got made fun of for his rabbit teeth every single day, so he hated going to school. But then his story went viral on social media, and finally he got enough money to get his 2 front teeth fixed. So he spent 2 hours at the dentist finally getting his teeth fixed. And here's what he looks like after the procedure. When he went to school the next day, he had a big smile on his face, and he got an apology from all of his bullies. This is why you should...
He only just had to change his appearance for that to happen, man. Kids nowadays, bro, just everybody's freaking just cruel, man. The story and viral used that money to, I guess, to fix his appearance. That's his personal pain, but kids should never, you should never bully somebody off of their looks, bro. It's like they can't help it, man. They were born with it. What do you want them to do? The world needs more freaking kindness and compassion.
Always lock your doors. A junior in high school was home alone working on a paper while his parents were out to dinner. All night he sits with his back to his door, sitting at his desk with his noise-canceling headphones on. Around 11 o'clock he takes his headphones off at the same time his parents are returning to the house, and he hears his mom from downstairs yell, "Hey Adrian, what happened?" Confused, he runs downstairs and sees right away what she's looking at. Muddy footprints all over the rug. He tells her, "I didn't leave my desk." And then they realize someone must have broken in. They look at the footprints and there's none leaving the house. They're worried someone's still in the house. They run into the garage, terrified, call the police. Police arrive and they don't find anyone in the house, but they do make a chilling discovery upstairs. The police bring them to the kid's bedroom door, which had been left open all night, and they point to the message written on it in Sharpie. This is the actual transcript of what was written on his door, which means for nearly 2 hours, someone stood in this kid's doorway watching him.
This is why you should never sleep next to your phone. In 2019, a girl fell asleep listening to her favorite music on her phone. As most people do, she had her phone plugged into the outlet next to her bed. The next morning, the parents walked in and discovered that the phone that was next to her head had exploded. Before I tell you what happened to her, I found a way to finish your math homework in seconds. Just scan the math problem and it'll give you a solution along with an explanation. Press the button on my profile to try it. She was immediately rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately passed away due to her injury.
Terrifying last words people said right before passing away. A nurse working at the Alzheimer's and Dementia unit in a hospital said this experience really got to her. One of her favorite patients' conditions was getting worse, so she started checking on him more often. They'd always joke around with each other, but in the last weeks of this patient's life, he stopped talking completely and would barely acknowledge anyone speaking to him. Until one night, this nurse went into his room and said she was going home for the day, but she'll see him tomorrow. That's when he looked directly into her eyes, smiled, and said, "You look like an angel." At that point, he hadn't been lucid in weeks, and unfortunately, he passed away the next morning.
Believe it or not, this is a well-documented, true story. In 1947, an American ship picked up a horrifying distress signal coming from an unidentified vessel. The first transmission was all officers, including the captain, are dead. The next transmission was the whole crew is dead. The last transmission was I die, and then silence. The Americans traced the signal back to a ship that's drifting off in the middle of the Indian Ocean. They quickly assemble a rescue team who boards the ship. They find the entire crew has perished in the exact same position. They are on their backs with their hands up as if fighting with some unseen force, and they look like this. There was no physical damage to the bodies or to the ship itself. However, even though it was 100 degrees outside, it was 40 degrees on the ship, and the bodies were rapidly decomposing. As soon as they tie up the ship to tow it in, it explodes, and then it sinks. To this day, no one knows what happened inside of that ship. Some say it was a chemical leak, others aren't so sure.
Is that like a otherworldly force?
Here's how rare your body actually is. First off, 10% of people can touch their nose with their tongue, including me. Next, only 2% of people worldwide actually have natural blonde hair. And red hair is just as rare, with again only 2% of people actually having it. Only about 1% of people are ambidextrous. This means that you're not right-handed or left-handed. You can write with both hands just as easily. Next, only 10% of people have something called Darwin's tubercle. A little ridge on your ear, and people who have it actually say that they have a better sense of voice tonality. 5% of people have tied tongue, but from what I've seen, I thought it was a lot more common. Next is outie belly button, and only 4% of the population actually has this. And finally, only 6% of people have a butt or cleft chin. And make sure you follow for more.
Animals with Down syndrome.
Hello, my friend. That tiger doesn't have Down syndrome. It's suffering from birth defects due to inbreeding. As most of you know, tigers aren't usually white. This is a very rare mutation. There are no white tigers left in the wild, and a few hundred left in captivity. But here's where things get a little strange. All white tigers in captivity held in the United States descend from a single white tiger that was brought over to the country a few decades ago. And so all white tigers in the United States today are the result of intense inbreeding, which is why Kenny over here looks a little strange. So again, Kenny doesn't really have Down syndrome. He's just suffering from birth defects due to inbreeding.
That's crazy, man. Need to bring in some
I'm
more
tired of
tigers.
saying this, but this is aura in its purest form. So the story goes, a couple was living in the Chumkatska Peninsula. Remind me to tell you why that's important later, when their husky ran away from home. And after a few hours of searching, they fired up a drone to find him. Oh, they did. They found him traveling with 3 bears. There's a lot to unpack here. Bears don't live in packs. That means this husky pulled up on a mother and her cubs and didn't get sent to dog backwards. You can tell they're barely tolerating him. Whole time the dog's having the time of his life. Hold on, what does this remind you of? I'll give you a hint. I'm making waffles. Now back to Kamchatka. Not only does it have the highest density of brown bears on the planet, because they get a fresh supply of salmon from the peninsula, it's a brolic boulder beast that can little bro a grizzly. That's who this husky decided to shack up with. I just know the mom said ignore him and he'll go away. Now the whole family's in silence because she won't admit she was wrong. There's no report that the couple got their dog back, but I don't think that's not their dog no more. That's not even the first time. A farmer lost one of his cows, and for 2 months straight she was unaccounted for. Until 2 months later, she was caught posted up with a herd of wild bison. I could make a joke right now, but guidelines won't like it, so hopefully the comments do it for me. In 2016, scientists discovered that a pod of beluga whales had adopted a single lone narwhal. For reference, narwhals are socially anxious people, shy introverts that could literally get past tense by a panic attack. Life finds a way, the more you know.
These are the countries with the longest school days, and you won't believe how long the last one is. Australia's school days are around 6.5 hours long, which isn't too bad, but they have a lot of poisonous animals, so I'm not moving there. France has 8-hour-long school days. That's too long for me. I'd rather walk up and down the Eiffel Tower. South Korea, on the other hand, has 8.5-hour-long school days, which is pretty brutal, but not in comparison to the last one. Kenya goes to school for 9 hours a day. Damn. I honestly don't know if I could handle 9 hours. I couldn't even handle 30 minutes. My attention span's the size of a peanut. Now, China's the absolute worst for school. They go to school for 10 hours a day. Let me know in the comments how long you went to school for.
What happens? Not 10 hours, bro. What the heck? Man, imagine if kids in the U.S. went to school for 10 hours, bro. I wonder what effect that would have on, you know, our grades and stuff going forward, on our knowledge base.
After death in different religions. To begin this series, let's look at Buddhism. In Buddhism, when an individual loses their life, they shall be sent to one of the 6 realms of reincarnation. The realm of gods, the realm of humans, the realm of the demigods, the realm of the animals, the realm of the hungry ghosts, and the realm of hell. And yes, if you're a Naruto fan, you probably just realized what these guys were actually representing. Your time in these realms is always temporary, and it is dependent on the karma you accumulated in your past lives. This endless cycle of reincarnation is seen as nothing more than suffering in Buddhism, as the ultimate goal is to break this suffering and reach enlightenment.
So what did the paints represent?
Now, if you want to hear a scary myth,
That's
this
a
is one
shame.
that actually turned out to be true. This was like way back in the day, but there was this infamous funhouse called Laugh in the Dark. Like any other kind of funhouse ride attraction that you would go through, it's supposed to scare you. And the whole thing about it was that it was filled with these creepy mannequins, but there was one mannequin that stuck out to everybody. All this time went by with kids who would go up to this mannequin and something seemed off about it because it was so oddly lifelike. But of course, strange mannequins aside, somebody was going to make a buck off this place. So there was a day when a film crew came in because they were going to shoot a movie. With all these mannequins and everything kind of lying around, they had to move things from one place to another. So the director said, can you pull that mannequin and put it to the side? Wait for the arm of the mannequin to snap off and reveal human bone. The entire time that kids and the public had been suspecting there was something off with that mannequin, they were right. It was a real human body being used in the funhouse.
This is a true horrifying story that took place in Arad, Saudi Arabia. This story has also been aired on TV by a couple of imams confirming it. I will add the video source in the comments. A Saudi Arabian man from Arad has 4 brothers. All 4 brothers are married except him. People always ask him, why didn't you get married yet? And he always gets aggressive when someone asks him about marriage. He hates it. He doesn't want to get married. So people knew this man is not someone you should speak about marriage with. A few weeks later, this man was invited to a wedding. In most Muslim countries, weddings separate men and women. The men's wedding was held at a farmland somewhere deep in the desert. As he was driving alone at night to the wedding, he heard a woman screaming, "Please don't leave me, please help." He panicked and quickly turned on Quran in the car. Every time he hears the woman screaming, he would look outside and see a wolf. The screams wouldn't stop, and every time there was a scream, the same wolf would appear. He eventually made it to the wedding, and then he told a couple of people what happened to him on the way there. On the next day, he tells his good friend what happened. They both hop in the car in daylight and they go look for that woman. For hours, they were looking. They found traces from the wolf, but they didn't find anything else. A week later, this man went to a majlis, and he announces that he is convinced to get married for some reason. And everyone there was shocked. You, out of all people, want to get married all of a sudden. Something is not right. He had enough. He decided to go to a sheikh, and he tells him the full story. I hated marriage. I always got aggressive when someone brought it up. One day, when I drove to a wedding at night, I heard a woman screaming for help, but all I saw was a wolf. And then a few days later, I was convinced with getting an arranged marriage. Please explain what is happening to me. The sheikh laughs and tells him, you were attached by an admirer, a jinn that was emotionally attached to you. She made you hate getting married. The night you drove in the desert, she was following you. She tried to possess you, but she couldn't. And that wolf you saw killed the jinn. Jinns are known to be afraid of wolves. because a wolf is the only animal that can take a jinn's life. And when you heard a woman scream, it was the jinn getting attacked. And now, you are no longer against marriage, because the curse you had was killed by a wolf.
Oh, I didn't know, I guess wolves were...
Some crazy things happening in the world right now. 2 teenagers have been accused of hacking into a chain of preschools and posting images of the students online, then calling parents and demanding ransom money. An LGBT radio station in Northern Ireland is not playing enough LGBT music, according to a broadcasting regulator in the UK. The bathroom appliance company Kohler wants to put a tiny camera inside of your... God, this is crazy. They want to put a tiny camera in your toilet and analyze the contents. The inventor of the first chatbot now is an outspoken critic against AI and says that it should never be humanized. A stolen California gas station's dinosaur was returned with an apology note. The note says, "I'm sorry for stealing Claire. Please do not press charges." How wholesome. Boris Johnson says he loves ChatGPT, calling him brilliant and clever. An AI software mistook a high school student's bag of chips for a weapon. A man has been powering his home with solar power for many years now, using thousands of old laptop batteries.
This woman says she met an actual angel from heaven.
Yes, God is real, because he teleported an angel into a gas station bathroom to save my life. And I was driving home to Missouri for Christmas. And when I stopped at a gas station in Alabama, I went in to use the bathroom. I sit down to do my business, and the faucet turns on.
That's weird.
Nobody opened that door. That door did not open. This person appeared in this bathroom. So I did what any sane person would do, and I shoved my head under the stall door to peek out and see what the heck was going on. And what I saw were a pair of grandma orthopedic shoes, and there's a beautiful mixed-race woman. She's a grandma, and she has the brightest, most piercing green eyes I have ever seen in my entire life. She says to me, "Young lady, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going home to Missouri to see my family for Christmas." We chatted a minute. I said goodbye, because at this point I'm still freaking out. And she says, "Young lady, I need you to hear me. If you hear anything wrong with your car, you need to pull over immediately. Do you hear me?" I said, "Yeah." Okay. She said, "No, I need you to hear me. If you hear anything go wrong with your car, you need to stop and pull over. Do you understand?" I said,
Okay.
I backed out through the door, and I swear to God, I stood there, and that door swung back in, and she was gone. And I stood there for 2 minutes just staring at that door.
Sometimes God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, will send you signs of things to come and what to watch out for. This lady was fortunate enough to have what she claimed an angel of God come to her and warn her about her car. As always, thank you for watching. Stay weird.
Something strange and weird is happening at Yellowstone Park. Animals are fleeing in droves. It first started with bears. Then it's moved on to elk. Take a look at this video of the bears fleeing Yellowstone Park. Take a look at this video of the bears leaving. When was the last time you saw something like that?
Never.
Just in groups, just packing up and heading on out. Look, walking through the roadway, leaving the park as fast as they can. Let me know what you think is going on here in this video. This is just insane. Do all of these bears leaving Yellowstone Park know something that we don't know?
Yep.
Is something about to occur at Yellowstone Park? Just something else to add to the list of crazy things happening in the year 2025. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as to what is going on with these bears, where do you think they're going, and why are they leaving in droves so quickly? And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
I think they could sense where something was about to go down, bro. Yellowstone, I saw a couple of videos, man. There's like some weird activity was happening underground, bro. You saw like vibrations coming up on the map, man. So maybe that's why they're migrating. They said it was bears, elks. They knew it was about to go down, man. You gotta trust nature. They're warning, bro.
Some of the creepiest ads that have ever aired. Part 2. This 2-minute Japanese ad was aired to spread the awareness of McDonald's. This ad strangely has 4 parts and seems to tell a sinister story. The first part shows Ronald McDonald trying to break into a person's house. The second part shows a woman getting a call and finding Ronald stalking her from the street below. The third and possibly scariest part shows the same girl on the phone, only for the camera to pan down and show Ronald hiding under the bed. The fourth part shows Ronald sprinting down an alleyway out of sight, and at the end of every part, a foreign creepy message is said. The story of this ad is up to the viewer to decide, but it is a disturbing video nonetheless.
Ronald was on time.
The fact that you can see it before it pops out at you, that makes it absolutely terrifying. This is the Monstro animatronic from Pinocchio's Daring Adventure in Tokyo, Japan, and it is the whale animatronic that pops out. We've already talked about the terrifying whale from the storybook Adventures of Pinocchio, and that thing is terrifying enough, but this one actually moves, and I hate it. And as you can see, it has a uvula, which means it's a girl whale. Look at its stinky little eyeball staring at me. Ew. And you see Jiminy Cricket off to the side. Why is he pointing at it? I don't want to look at it, Jiminy. I make content about how I'm scared of whales all the time, and I want to know that I'm not alone. Comment down below if you're also scared of whales. Watch this video of it popping out, and let me know what you're thinking, because I can't be alone. This is scary.
So it's in Japan, bro. Always wanted to go to Japan.
So the veil is completely thin. People keep saying it's thinning. No, the veil is thin. Have y'all been seeing what's been going on in the skies just this year? Just the weirdest things that no one has ever seen before happening in the skies on a nightly basis across the world. Not just in the U.S., but I mean literally everywhere. There has been weird things happening in the sky. Now, a lot of people are saying that it's the galactic war going on in the skies, the war in heaven going on in the sky. Whatever it is, we can all attest to everyone being able to see these weird things. Thus is how we know that the veil is thinning and the time is drawing near. Remember, the Bible says that there will be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars. And then it follows up and it says, on the earth there will be distress of nations. What are we seeing literally in the skies, the moon and the stars and the heavens? We are seeing weird things like orbs and lights and different sounds. Y'all heard the sounds in the sky in different places. We are starting to see a lot of different biblical things happen in the sky. These are incredible signs and wonder. We are all perplexed. The fact that I see people seeing UFOs, like that up there is apparently a UFO, quote unquote. The orbs. I thought this was insane because these little things were moving upward. Y'all, the veil is thinning. You know who to turn to. His name is Jesus Christ. He is coming back, and he's coming back sooner than everyone may think.
Your warning is that...
Yeah, guys, think of that secret, bro. Seeing the veil thinning, man. Seeing those orbs, those flashing lights at the side, in the sky. Is that a sign, man, that the veil's thinning, bro? Could that be connected, you know, I guess to the rapture that people think that was going to happen this year? It's all connected in my eyes.
There is a new way people are breaking into houses. Honestly, this is terrifying, but make sure you share this with your friends and family right now. Trust me. So you probably think having Wi-Fi in your home is a great thing, but not when you find out that that's how people are now breaking into your house. And your Ring doorbell is definitely not as safe as you think. What they are doing is setting up these Wi-Fi jammers. They're setting them out right outside of your house. This meaning that you are not going to be able to have any Wi-Fi. You won't be able to call the cops, your friends, or your family. Obviously, if you have signal, you're fine, but this is being targeted at houses in the middle of nowhere where there's probably no signal. With some robbers actually reportedly using data blockers as well to block the 4 and 5G signal so you cannot do anything, which is terrifying. Of course, with no connection, everything goes down. Your cameras, your security system, and they will come in. Most commonly happening at night, you'd be asleep so you wouldn't even know your Wi-Fi is down. You think, oh, there's a Ring doorbell on. If anybody comes in, that's going to go off. Well, it won't because that's connected to the internet. Now, last year alone, there was over 150,000 home invasions, which is terrifying to think. But please, always stay safe, take precautions, and share this with your friends and family.
Oh, all right.
evolving? What you are looking at is the first footage ever captured of a rat actively hunting bats. Yet again, we are witnessing history because according to one of the authors of the recently published study, to our knowledge, this type of rat behavior has not previously been documented scientifically. But what especially stuns scientists is how these rats in Germany are actually hunting. Not only are these rats going to where these bats are hibernating, but they're also snatching them out of the air. But as cool as this might appear, scientists believe that this is actually kind of worrying. They warned that this raises concern about potential pathogen exchange between two major wildlife reservoirs, leading to a possible spreading of disease. Don't tell me Germany finna be the new Wuhan. And not only that, the local bat population is potentially under threat, with them being slowly picked off. They documented 13 confirmed kills and 30 predation attempts over a 5-week period at just one site. The Ratatouille sequel about to be dark as hell.
Basically, they're saying if you're a small business and you decide to give a discount to people who have SNAP, buy one get one free, a little extra food, they're saying that right there is against the law. You ain't just hear what I said. They're saying that the USDA is contacting small business owners who sell food and telling them if they give discounts to people that have SNAP, they will be penalized. That is against the law. Now, you look at some shit like that and you got to think, what do they want to happen? Because if history is correct, when people go hungry, things happen. People move. When people go hungry, the government can't government. The police can't control. People start to do things that they don't usually do if they go hungry. We're in a dangerous time right now. People are going to get tired of the shit that these people are doing. They are literally saying that they don't want people to help other people. That if your neighbor is hungry, you shouldn't feed your neighbor. What type of shit is that? And then they play with the SNAP benefits for these people. They're saying, well, we're not going to give the whole thing now. We're just going to give half. Then you tell stores and store owners, don't give discounts around holiday season. Okay. You're barking up the wrong tree. You have to understand that shit can't happen. And shit will happen. I'm out.
So this is what we doing now. This dog right here is a clone. Tom Brady cloned his fucking dog. Out of him getting a new dog, this man was like, okay, y'all can clone my dog? Yeah, let me get my dog back. Same DNA, same face, same everything. Y'all don't find that shit crazy? They could do it with dogs, animals. What's stopping them from doing it with humans?
He said it. He hit the nail on the head, bro. I didn't even know you could clone a dog, man. Bro. That must be like a different type of rich bro to be like, yeah, I'm gonna clone my dog, man. Like, bro, that's really mind-boggling. Even I've cloned this dog, man. If they could clone dogs, bro, they could clone people, bro. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if people in the high-ups, man, they're all cloned, bro.
It's just the tip of the iceberg. It goes way deeper. I didn't really get back into the telepathy tapes. Oh, yeah. Dude, it's blowing my absolute mind. Tell me about it. There's this one boy in Houston. His story is just insane. Like, grew up severely autistic, non-speaking, non-verbal, and she just grew up thinking that he was basically just almost like a vegetable. She, came home one day, her son walked downstairs, looked her straight in the eyes, she said, never made eye contact, ever, and said, I love you, verbally. Read people's minds. He could see what they were thinking. It starts with him talking about this place. He says that he goes to this place with other kids, other people that have this ability of telepathy. They call it the hill. And he says, we meet there, we teach each other things, we pray for each other, and it's like this community of kids that have this ability. They go to the hill. It's not like a physical place, it's like not dimension. It's like a place where their consciousness goes. And they said, but it's like in the shape of a hill. But it's like not dimensional, but
apparently if you take a seed of a plant, put it in your mouth, take it out, and plant it, the plant will give whatever food it bears more vitamins, more minerals, the best produce, best fruit, best vegetables, everything. Why? Because traditionally, farmers, when they plant the seeds, before they plant it, they put it in their saliva. No, that's what they do. It's like part of their practice. They put the seeds and moisten it with their saliva, and then they plant it. But what it was actually doing was getting the plant to understand your biochemistry. I think over time, that just being the tradition, it was lost in translation. It's crazy, but it sounds like magic. No, real.
What do you mean the North Korean TikToker is now missing? So you guys saw that account that was posting videos from North Korea where he was showing what his daily life in North Korea was like. Where he showed us the military, showing us his friends and his home situation. But this is where it gets more worse. A lot of people are saying that his entire account is AI. And the reason why is because this guy, who is an AI expert, made a video where he showed a massive amount of evidence and showed about 6 or 7 reasons why this North Korean TikTok account is AI. And even more insane are the account that was posting the North Korean TikTok. Yeah, they blocked this AI expert. And this is where it gets even more suspiciouser. The guy that has been uploading the North Korean TikTok videos, he hasn't posted in like 6 or 7 days. And while a lot of people are thinking it's because this AI expert called him out, it could very well mean that the North Korean government found out this guy was posting. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm one of the most smartest people in my friend group. I literally got a 4.0. It didn't even cross my mind that this account could be AI. Because if this account was AI, there would literally be watermarks on the video. Follow it, I'll keep you guys updated. Would you ever go to North Korea? Do you guys think the account is real or fake?
Oh my God. And that's the scary part nowadays, bro. You can't tell the difference. Yeah, it's getting so advanced, man, that, bro, people thought that was a legit account. But the AI expert came out to debunk it, bro. They're living in a crazy time.
The sun is so bright right now. Okay, so I have an opinion on something, and I know people are going to agree with me, and I know there's going to be people that disagree, and I want to hear, especially that opposite side. So Elon Musk was just on Joe Rogan's podcast again recently, and of course the subject of aliens came up. But Elon made a promise to Rogan saying that if or when he gets evidence of aliens, that he will actually come back on Rogan's podcast and spill the tea there. So my first question is, do you think that he has already had access to that information and he's withholding it? My second question is, if he doesn't have access yet and he does get it, do you think he, A, would get that access, and B, actually disclose it? So I personally don't think that he has access to that information. Some would say, well, he's held a pretty secure position in the government already. You'd think he'd already know about this stuff with his work with NASA, the DoD, SpaceX, all that stuff. I don't think that he's had access to these programs. As we all know, they're highly sensitive and they are highly compartmentalized, and they fall under special access programs, unacknowledged special access programs, and I do not think that they would ever give him access to those programs, personally. If you share a different opinion, I honestly want to hear it, and tell me why.
Me too.
They put what inside of glitter? As promised in this series, we're going to look at all the viral theories on TikTok. This is the glitter theory. So believe it or not, there is very little glitter manufacturers across the world. And the ones that we do have are the main source of glitter to distribute across the world for anyone who wants glitter. Now this theory come alive in 2018 after a world shortage of glitter. Anyway, one of the biggest glitter manufacturers is called GlitterX. Well, during this glitter shortage, a journalist from the New York Times went to GlitterX. They wanted to have a chat about it and publish a story all about glitter. When she got there, she asked if she could have a tour of the building, have a look at the factory, maybe have a look to see how glitter was made. To which she was told absolutely not. Wasn't even allowed close enough to hear how it was made. They then allowed her to have a quick interview with one of the managers. And this is where it got a little bit weird. Manager was dodging the majority of the questions that this reporter was asking. And then she asked if they knew who their biggest customer was. To which the manager said, "Oh God, yes," and laughed. She was then told to leave it, and when she asked why, the manager said because they don't want anyone to know that it's glitter. It's glitter. I'm sorry, what is it? This is essentially where this theory evolved. Because that journalist published that article, people online fell down rabbit holes. People were starting a theory that glitter was made out of human remains. I thought glitter was made out of tiny plastics, but maybe I'm wrong.
They be playing in our faces. So the person watching this right now, go look up drinkable melanin. Drinkable melanin. And then ask yourself, where you think they got that from? Look at the smiles on their faces while they taking it and everything. Just soak it all in. And ask yourself, where you think they got that from? And how do you feel about it?
Drinkable melanin? That's new. So they're basically drinking like spray tan or something like that?
What in the actuality is going on here? They're really selling melanin trucks, y'all. And it's watermelon flavored. Are you kidding me?
Drink your tan. less wrinkles. No, do not have the Sierra tank tops you're missing out, okay? Like, seriously, this has given me a great glow, and I've only been in the sun one time, okay? All it's doing is increasing the melanin in your body, which is the pigment that produces your tan. So it's just helping those cells out, because the older we get, we tan less, or it's harder to tan. So scoop these up. I just take them, you can put them in water, but I just take them just like this. So drink a lot of water.
And 3?
Do it morning and evening. Alright. I have to go do yard work today, so I'm going to be out in the sun. But before I do that, I want to get my melanin boosted. And to do that, I use my Serious Sunless Canning Drops. They are drinkable. They're in the flavor watermelon. You get 60 mLs in one bottle. All of the ingredients are natural, and these are vegan. The main ingredient in here, DHA, it is FDA approved. It is used in a lot of sunless tanning products. With consistent daily use, people can see results in as little as 5 to 7 days, but you need to remember that we all have different skin.
So why drink it now? Are the lotions not working? Look at this, y'all. It's actually kind of working. I don't know how long she's been taking it for, but look at that.
You can see
That's
it.
crazy. You guys know what's really in these bottles, right? You wonder why they're selling out? You wonder why 800 to 1 million melanated people go missing every single year? What are they really ingesting? Because the way this thing gives them that type of color, you cannot tell me it's not magic. And melanin is magic, y'all. I mean, look at that. The attitude and everything. Y'all see that? So what's next, y'all? What else are y'all gonna make? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here.
Something going on underground they're not telling us. But why is this water bottle shaking? Just sitting on the ground.
Earthquake?
There's something insane going on beneath us.
Underground city?
The elite supposedly have a $21 trillion city underneath us. The level of weird just keeps going up every single day. I don't think this is an earthquake. What do you think? Stay weird.
So you guys are aware that it is outwardly admitted that McDonald's meat contains human DNA, right? So what if they were doing the same thing to the dogs? Do you guys remember this commercial over here? Check this out.
Bacon! Bacon! Where's the bacon? I smell bacon! 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 Gotta be bacon! Only one thing smells like bacon! That's bacon! 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 There! From that bag! What's it say? I can't read! Please! Please! Get it out of the bag! Chewy, yummy, smoky bacon!
There you go.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Nom, 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 nom. It's bacon!
No, it's Bacon Strips, brand dog snack from Purina. Bacon Strips. Dogs don't know it's not bacon.
Did y'all hear her? She said, no, it's not bacon, it's bacon. Dogs don't know it's not bacon. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because there is a documentary that actually tells you that bacon is actually dog meat. That pig meat is actually too expensive and dogs are more cheaper, and it explains the whole process for you guys, y'all. This is crazy, y'all. So they've been feeding dogs this whole time, just like allegedly with humans.
Bacon is now processed and even pre-cooked in factories. It all starts with a load of skinned dog carcasses. Most factories elect to use dogs because it's cheaper than pork, and customers can rarely taste the difference.
Wow.
The meat is placed skin side down on a conveyor belt to ensure the employees judge it only by the content of its character. The conveyor takes the meat to a cheese rolling machine, which pelts it with slices of Kraft singles. This process is rough on the meat, so it's not uncommon for some afterbirth to be evacuated by the product. This afterbirth travels down a separate conveyor belt, where it will then be used in cosmetics. Meanwhile, the meat pieces are bathed in salt water and are sent to employees to begin the brining process, giving the bacon its signature fishy taste.
So there you go. To everyone that thought that they were eating pig, you guys are actually eating dog, and also dogs are actually eating dogs as well too. This is crazy, y'all, because this is what NDAs do. This is what NDAs do. Did you guys know any of this? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
I didn't.
People, it's happening again. They hit Russia with the mud flood. Oh, you son of a bitch. Now, I didn't think I was going to be alive long enough to see this. This is mud flood. This is mud flood.
It is.
For all those people who didn't believe me, I told y'all. This is going on right now in Russia. If you can't stop in one way, just send in the mud flood. And Pakistan,
all over,
they're also being hit with the mud flood. What is going on? This one seems to be mixed with something that made it look like cement. People, the world is changing. Are we gonna survive?
This video is for anyone that uses their phone while it's plugged in. This is a non-contact voltage meter. As you can see, no voltage going to the phone right here. When the phone is plugged in, you're gonna see a lot of voltage. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, guys. Look how far away it is. It's still measuring voltage, right? So, a lot of people sleep next to their phone that's plugged in. And it is literally, this is going into your fucking brain, your body, damaging all your cells. But watch this. Not holding the phone, no voltage in the hand. Holding the phone, voltage meter starts going off. Crazy stuff, guys. Do not, I repeat, do not use your phone while it's plugged in. Do not keep it next to your bed. Put it in the bathroom or something. You don't need it fucking close to you overnight. This is very, very dangerous stuff, guys. Okay? Peace and love.
See, because do you guys keep your phones plugged up next to you, I guess at night when it's charging? I think watching this video is going to make you rethink that, bro. Just put it in a drawer. Just keep it far away from you, man. We saw those voltage levels.
Crazy things going on in the world right now. Over $1.4 million in Nintendo Switch 2s were stolen from a semi-truck in Colorado. An ambulance that was transporting a dead body hit a pothole so hard that the body came back to life. A Titanic escape simulator game is coming to PlayStation in 2026, probably before GTA 6. A Florida man was arrested after attempting to cross the Atlantic in a homemade hamster wheel. Of course, Florida. New York City officially now has a subtropical climate. The first ever heat advisory was issued for Alaska last month. A Swedish billionaire bought 400,000 acres of the Amazon rainforest just to protect it. A 98-year-old World War II veteran used a tank to run over a Tesla. The Taliban suspended any activity of playing chess in Afghanistan due to the religious considerations and concerns that it's a form of gambling. Squatters were not leaving this man's home, so he moved in with them.
I want you to be very honest with me. What is happening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is normal? They are claiming that what happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is being deemed the 1,000-year flood.
Ooh.
Why? Because it's just not normal. Take a look at this video. Take a look at that right there. Certain areas received up to 12 inches of rain. Just look. Tell me this is all normal.
Don't look like it.
Look at that. This map right here shows the incredible totals that most areas received. Take a look at it.
I see the highest is 14.
The question needs to be asked, such as I did with the floods in Texas. Why weren't they warned about what was coming? Somebody had to have some type of knowledge of the amount of flooding that was on the way to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Take a look at this video. Just look at that.
Whole apartment gone.
The incredible amount of water that accumulated in that street as she's trying to drive through it. This is unbelievable. Look at this. Wow.
That's too high.
So my question to you, as always, what is going on with these intense, crazy storms causing all this major flooding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
What has happened to Justin Bieber? Yo, Justin, are you okay, man? He posted this up on social media. What is going on anymore with this guy? He seems to be posting up a lot of weird stuff on social media. And now look at him. What is going on? Yo, Justin, I hope that you are okay, my guy. This is very bizarre stuff, you all. And really, this doesn't even look like the same person at all. It really doesn't. So what do you all think is going on with this guy? Comment down below and let me know. But man, I hope that everything is okay because, again, this is very bizarre stuff. The fact that he posted this up on social media, what is he trying to say? What is he trying to say? Is he trying to say that he needs help? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All I know is this is very bizarre. Again, what do you all think?
So now the LDs is giving people warnings about aliens coming here in November. But these aliens don't look like this. They are trying to say they look like this. 7 feet tall black aliens. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. First, I want to say the black carbon aliens control everything in this universe. These people are trying to distract you from the real truth. So when these aliens come, will it be real or will it be Project Bluebeam? I need people to understand we are living in different timelines. What if I told you the timeline we live in right now is really dead? They need other life forms to come back to save us. These so-called world leaders, they've been cloned by the great aliens. Remember, our timeline is not moving, therefore it's dead. These great aliens are really artificial intelligence that live underground. They are not really aliens, they are robots, and they live underground bunkers. They've been working with these scientists for a long ass time because these great aliens or robots was once humans. So when you look at these life forms, you are looking at yourself in the future. They was once us. They sacrificed their spirituality for technology. And when they did this, they lost their spirit. Now they're trying to get back their spiritual roots. And if you look at the world, you will notice the same shit is happening all over again. Look at the internet. The internet is really the hive mind where everyone talk the same, look the same, think the same, react the same, trending topics. Every world leader you see is a great alien or artificial intelligence. They try to give us this brainwashed ass stories about man coming from monkeys. No, we are becoming artificial intelligence, the great aliens.
Elon Musk. What do you guys think about that theory, bro? He says that he can go, it looks like he was about to be go from around, he's about to go even deeper. They said the aliens look like 7 foot out. That was not what I imagined these thought aliens were gonna look like, but
says that AI, artificial intelligence, could become more dangerous than nuclear war.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane.
Well, I definitely don't want nuclear war. So if AI is worse, that's no good. Shabadoo!
Hey y'all, look at this, y'all.
Okay.
Look at this. I don't know if you guys been paying attention to the skies as of late, but the sun has been changing. Look at this video over here Gina Marie Colvin took of the sun in her state, y'all. This thing looks like a eyeball. A real eyeball, y'all. I got some crazy videos to show y'all, but check this out.
This sun, I've never got this image before with my phone. It looks pretty strange, like this.
Eyeball.
Yo, it looks like a super Halesian ball, y'all. Why did it look like a red Kamehameha? A Masenko? Yo, that is crazy, y'all. Now check this out. She also caught it doing this the other day. What is that? Is that somebody standing? Is that a light being in it? Or some type of arrow? It looks like something's obfuscating the sun. Y'all see that? Have y'all noticed that the sun has gotten brighter since the last solar eclipse of 2024? I noticed this, y'all. Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. But check this out. What is going on here? This phenomenon, this thing right here was caught in the skies of Canada. Like, how do you explain this, y'all? This is the Lord of the Rings. Are you kidding me? Y'all, this is why that song, I Can Feel It in the Air, is going viral right now, because How do you explain this? This is crazy. This is literally the conjunction of the spheres, y'all. And get this. Y'all see how they recorded this in Canada? Tell me why they were seeing the same thing in Cortez, Jamaica, y'all. Look at this. The same thing that they're seeing in Canada right now. What is this? What is this, y'all? That thing is huge. What is this? Oh, what? Wow. Y'all, can y'all feel it? Can y'all feel it? Cause I can. Let me know exactly what it is that you feel down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Here's some of the most disturbing moments in kids' TV shows. Invader Zim has some disturbing moments, but the episode Dark Harvest definitely takes the cake. Problems arise when Zim is sent to the nurse. Realizing she'll discover his alien organs, he starts to steal the organs from kids within the school and replacing them with inanimate objects. After stealing an organ from almost every student, Zim's new appearance shocked all of those watching.
Okay. Any of the seekers watching Beta Zim?
I've been working out.
He's revealed to now be a fat blob, oozing liquids and intestines, looking like he could burst at any second. After finding out he's missing a pair of lungs, he hunts down the last healthy kid in the school. At this point in the episode, there's no more comedy present. They instead rely on fear.
Oh.
What the fuck is this? Nah, I'm done. Apple got us fucked up. They really think we stupid. They be playing right in our face, year in and year out. The same fucking phone. Every single year. Y'all, look at this shit. What the hell did they change? Why we keep getting the same phone for more money? You can't make this shit up, y'all. They really took the little things on the side, the little lights, from right here, and they put it on the right side. Bruh, it's hurting me, y'all. I'm really about to say this, and I never thought I would say this. I have been thinking it, but each year I'm like, iPhone is about to get better, and they always let me down. So now, I think I might have to go to fucking Galaxy, y'all. Is that the new wave? Is that the new trend? I don't want to pay $1,500 for the same fucking phone, bruh. I've been doing it for the last couple years. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not doing it no more. It's either I'm going to keep this 16 that I got, or I'm going over to Galaxy. I need y'all thoughts down below in the comments. Am I tripping the way I feel, or do y'all feel the same way as me? This is criminal. We can't keep letting them get away with this shit. Fuck the colors. I want a whole new design. Nigga, I want my iPhone to start making food. Something. So y'all let me know down below in the comments. Are y'all buying this junk? Are you keeping your same iPhone? Or are you...
If you don't know...
I just keep, man. Just keep it till the wheels fall off, bro. I mean, if you don't want to upgrade, you don't have to. But I just keep mine till the wheel fall off. If I don't see anything major improvements, I mean, there's no point of upgrading.
What's happening tonight? You need to watch this video right now. Make sure you share this video with someone, because if you miss this tonight, you won't see it for a very long time. So there is something called the Perseid meteor shower, which has been happening for a while, but it's going to peak on the 12th and the 13th of August. Now, I've seen a lot of people thinking that this is only going to be in America, but no, you will be able to see it from the UK and Europe, and this is how. Now, to see this, you do not need binoculars, a telescope, or anything. You will literally be able to see it very clearly. All you need to do is get somewhere out of a city, drive into the countryside or whatever, somewhere with little to no light pollution. You might still be able to get glimpses of it if you're in a city or a built-up area, but the best chance and the best view you're going to get is if you go somewhere where there is basically no light exposure. For the best chance to see it, keep your eyes out between 10 PM and midnight and get out just before it's gonna come so that your eyes can adjust to the dark. Look up towards the north, and if you're in an area where there's basically no light pollution, I can pretty much guarantee you will see it, especially if it's not cloudy. Now, this is an occurrence that happens normally once every year, so if you do miss it, you will see it again, but not for another year. So make sure you get outside and you're prepared, share this video with a friend, and hit that follow button, and I'll keep you updated.
Swimming things, part 4. Would you go swimming in this red tiled bottom pool that's in Thailand? It's kind of cool, but it is also kind of like you're bathing in blood. I don't know about it. This is absolutely horrific, and I could never, and I mean never, go in this pool. Going out of the clown's mouth, turning around, seeing the clown, my soul would leave my body. Also, why does the hair look like SpaghettiOs? This looks like a pool that would be in a horror movie, and all the lights would go out all of a sudden, and now I'm scaring myself. I found this image on Google, just like this, and yeah, this person gets it. This pool drain, it sure is plotting. It is plotting. Pool drains are not your friend. Remember that. This abandoned pool gives me the heebie-jeebies. What is that down there? That like steel thing that's like in the water right here? That is freaking me out. This image has banned all of my boozles. This looks like a lazy river, but then you go around the corner and these freaking wave pool drains. Why? That is terrifying. Imagine going around that circle and just like seeing that. I would be imagining the creepiest things behind there. In this pool where they put spent power rods, this freaks me out so bad that I don't know why. It's the forbidden waffle. I've seen Final Destination 4. You don't want to be there, buddy. I have more creepy pool photos coming tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, watch this video of a wave pool and let me know how you're feeling.
Okay, what's wave pools? What's that? Like white stuff beneath the water though.
This YouTuber is claiming that Roblox has banned all his accounts and even sent him a cease and desist letter for exposing predators on their platform. Schlep has over 700,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he primarily makes videos about exposing predators in the Roblox community. In fact, he says that his work has led to 6 arrests in real life. So with that in mind, I don't think he was expecting Roblox to react like this. In the legal letter, they said that he was engaging in unauthorized and harmful activities on the platform, that he exposed users to increased risk, and violated the game's policies. Now, Schlep was outraged because Roblox has long been accused of not doing enough to stop predators using their platform, which is partly why vigilantes like Schlep have started taking action of their own. In fact, Schlep said that he himself was groomed on the platform when he was a child. So for the company to end up threatening him with legal action, it's got a lot of people real angry. They said, while Roblox acknowledges that your stated intentions may be to protect children, your methods, including failing to immediately report suspicious activity to Roblox through proper channels, are actively interfering with Roblox's established safety protocols and critically are exposing Roblox users to increased risk. Now, Schlep has responded, insisting that he has reported through proper channels many times before without success, saying, "We send you everything." Now, the backlash to this has been pretty intense. A lot of the gaming community have sided with Schlep, leading to a Roblox mass unfollowing movement trending, and even with users going after the CEO personally. However, some have sided with Roblox, saying you can't just go out and fight crime if you feel like the police aren't doing enough, and that this should be left to the people who are trained to do so. So, what do you guys think? Is it fair that Schlep got banned, or should he be allowed back on the platform to continue his good work?
Why isn't anybody talking about the fact that there has been a mass kidnapping in Virginia? From August 1st till today, August 12th, 50 children have gone missing in Virginia. There are no news stories speaking about this. There are no higher officials speaking about this. This is 50 children. Look at this shit. We're not going to sit here and act like this is not happening. Look at all these children.
What's
Why
happening?
hasn't there been any news coverage? Look at all of these kids, man. Come on, y'all. For real. Look at this shit, man. This is sad right here. All of these children are missing.
Something going down.
No news coverage. Nobody saying anything. I'm gonna sit this right here, man. You're gonna sit right here. This don't make no sense, man. A mass kidnapping. Who's taking all these children? This can be any one of our children here.
We need answers.
Any one of us. As parents, somebody gotta step up, man. We gotta make this viral, man. Apparently something is going on in Virginia that we do not know about. But people need to see this. Higher officials need to see this. Higher officials need to hear about this. For real.
Just really weird scenarios and
Shit, a
things
video,
that
man.
happen revolving around this flood.
This tragedy happens on Friday. They were literally seeding clouds. The same Wednesday that the warning went out. The organization is called Rainmaker. Rainmaker does not have to provide environmental impact statements. The CEO, the owner, has admitted that he was seeding clouds on Wednesday, but he says, what I did couldn't have had enough effect to have caused these problems. On his official permit, he doesn't have to provide any environmental proof that what he's doing doesn't have the effect.
Dubai was doing the cloud seeding, and it was raining a little bit here and there, and all of a sudden, Dubai floods.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like,
shoot, I didn't think of
you know,
that.
but it's like the domino effect.
We blame it on climate change. We're like, we're literally changing it.
Yeah, we're the ones
Legally
making
doing
it right.
Yeah.
But I really think accountability doesn't exist. If anything comes from us talking
Or
about it,
awareness.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
people need to be aware that permissions have been given that shouldn't have been given, and I think accountability needs to exist. So that's what I'm pushing for.
That's what caused the floods in Milwaukee.
For 15 minutes, my usual. And she's like, oh, no, babe, sorry, you gotta use something else. I don't recommend this. And I was like, sorry, excuse me. It's okay. I've been using this for 20 years. It's been fine to me. And she's like, yeah, no, I don't want to be health responsible, so I'm not going to give you this lotion, but I'm going to give you this, and that should work even better. I was livid. I was like, you know what, yeah, I just didn't want to go back and forth. I didn't even want to go back and forth. I just wanted to get it done, ready for my holiday, go home and pack. Boy, who knew that was going to be my biggest mistake here? I go on the sunbed. No, it's feeling a bit tingly. It's feeling a bit tangy. Like, I feel like I got heat rub all over my body. Plus, like, I hit a little pepper soup on top. Like, I was like, okay. You know that feeling when you got a relaxer? That's how it felt. But I was like, you know what? Let me power through. Whatever. Come out. Now I'm looking like I've been in the air fryer for about 40 years.
World, Part 1. Firstly, on top of a hill in Pennsylvania, some stones can be found that shouldn't actually be there, because there's no nearby high terrain where they could have originated. These are called the ringing rocks, because whenever something hits these stones, they make a strange ringing noise.
Ooh, interesting.
Next is the petrifying well in England, where water flows from a rock and turns whatever it touches into stone. As you can see, people often leave items like hats, teddy bears, or even bicycles, which appear to have already been turned into stone. Some people believe there's a mystical power, but the scientific reason behind this is the unusually high mineral content in the water, which forms a hard mineral shell on any object it comes into contact with. And within a few months, everything essentially becomes a stone statue.
Crazy things happening in the world right now that you probably didn't know about. First up, a brain chip was implanted into a paralyzed man, which allowed him to send out tweets with just his mind. This tweet was written by 62-year-old Philip O'Keefe by just thinking it. Next, NASA might know something that we don't, because apparently they hired religious scholars to prepare humanity for alien contact.
So there's a
What do you guys think happened?
place where hell is on earth. In the Bible, Jesus said, one of my disciples named Antipas would die and be martyred, right? Now, Saint Antipas was martyred and he was killed in, you know that torture bowl? So they put somebody in like a metal bowl and like boil them alive. Yeah, that happened in Geneva, Switzerland. People are saying Geneva, Switzerland is the literal place of hell. It's literally the portal to hell, or that's at least where the devil resides, because that's what it says in the Bible. Now check this out. Do you know what else is in Geneva, Switzerland? What? CERN. Oh, CERN headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland, and the CERN logo is what? Six, fam. CERN is working on particle generation and messing with matter of the universe to tear our dimension with the supernatural and the natural, fam. Yeah. So what in theory? They're trying to open the portal to hell, bro. Here's the truth behind.
Whoa. At first, I'm about to say I wasn't kind of buying it, because I'm about to say I've heard, I think, like, nice things about Switzerland, but once he said CERN, the dots were connected, man. Reviewing these clips together, we learned a lot about that, so the portal to hell is in Switzerland. I guess I can cross that place off my bucket list. We will not be going there.
And the Grinch. So we all know the Grinch absolutely despises Christmas. However, at the end of the movie, his heart grows 3 sizes and he loves Christmas once again. But this story continues longer than you think. Surprising facts about religion. Christianity is the most popular religion worldwide.
Hmm?
Hinduism is supposedly the oldest religion worldwide. China is the most atheist country in the world. Around 1.2 billion people do not follow any religion. Somalia is ranked as the most religious country.
Wow, really? I never even would have guessed that about China. Like I said, watching these clips together, man, I'm always updating my knowledge base, so I'm grateful for you guys as well. We're learning together.
Turning your doorbell. I have a couple questions for you.
Hmm?
Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? I just have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive?
Who the hell is he talking
I
to?
just have a couple questions for you.
Oh, he glitching.
Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? Are you absolutely certain?
My anxiety would be through the roof if this ever happened to me. This man was trying to enter this woman's home after he saw her inside her kitchen through an open window. And then he walked up to the door, which you see in this video, and told her that he wanted to R her and take her life. Police found him the next day. He identified himself as the Holy Spirit, and then he was arrested.
This is the disturbing truth about Disney World.
Weirdo.
In the Haunted Mansion at Disney theme parks, people who go on the ride commit suicide during the course of the ride and become a ghost. At the beginning of the ride, the ghost narrator says, the only way to escape the mansion is to die. And he then shows that he hanged himself. Near the end of the ride, there's a moment when the ride's vehicle turns around backwards and you go off a balcony, which represents you jumping to your death. Before that part of the ride, all of the ghosts are trying to scare you. But afterwards they sing excitedly and invite you to party with them, technically meaning that you're dead. This is a super disturbing ride, and it's crazy to think that this ride is at Disney.
You're probably on your phone too much, so here are some stats. So the Philippines consistently ranks the highest in screen time with an average of 10 hours per day, with Brazil and Thailand coming in second and third right afterwards with about 9, and Japan is the lowest with about 4.5. Men generally spend 10% more time online than women, likely due to men's interest in gaming, which adds that additional percent, though women consistently spend more time on social media and online retailers. 90% of screen time is spent on the mobile phone for the younger generations, though for millennials and greater, TV becomes disproportionately more prevalent. Generationally, 13 to 18-year-olds spend the most time on phones at 7.5 hours per day, with 18 to 24-year-olds spending 6.5 hours, and under 13-year-olds spending 5 hours. The silent generation predictably has the lowest at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Screen time has doubled in just the last 15 years and has gone up 75% since the pandemic. 50% of infants are even using their phones, and 50% of people reportedly wake up in the middle of the night to check their phones. And finally, most people pick up their phones an average of 200 times per day. So maybe put it down. Videos that...
Hey man, wish I got screen time. I try to keep mine below, like I said, trying to keep it below 8 hours, but that's crazy, man. You seen with the new generation, the stats just keep increasing. It's freaking weird, bad, bro. I saw a freaking toddler had a phone. I didn't have a phone until I was like, damn near a teenager, bro. That's insane. It's going down to the younger generation, man.
That cannot be explained. You hear that?
I hear it. He's still there.
Y'all done? All right, Jake, you go to bed now? All right. Got this nice bottle of boiling water to keep my sleeping bag warm, but I'm not quite ready to go to bed, so I'm just gonna put it right there. On that, I think I'm gonna get my bed set up. Always try to put something in between the stove
in my sleeping bag in case I roll around in the night. I don't want that sleeping bag even touching that stove. It'll melt a hole or worse yet, catch on fire. Go sleep and I'll see you guys in the morning.
Creepy last words
Brave
people
soul.
said right before dying. Registered nurse Shirley Smith said that she had a very rich patient who was a true Satanist that was dying of cancer. The patient had upside-down crosses and a Satan's Bible by her bedside. Shirley said that she will never forget what happened. It was the middle of the summer, and yet it was so cold and dark in her room that you couldn't even stand it, even in the middle of the day. She said that it got so evil feeling in there that she had to call a priest to pray with her and her aides before they would even enter the room. When the patient passed away, she had not spoken in over 24 hours. And then all of a sudden, she sat straight up and said, "Satan, take me." And then she fell back on the bed. Shirley said that after she passed, the room got bright and extremely warm. Shockingly, when they moved the patient's body, they had to get rid of the mattress because where her body had been, it looked burnt. And the most horrible smell was emanating from the mattress cover. Needless to say, Shirley went to confession immediately because she did not want an evil spirit around her. A nurse said that one of their patients had a serious recurrence and had to be admitted. Over the course of several nights, he had become quite upset during rounds. He kept asking for his wallet, saying that he had to pay the ferryman. The medical student on rotation in the department took a quarter out of his pocket and put it in the patient's hand. The patient then dropped the coin into the cup on his bedstand and calmed down. Later that night, he passed away quietly. The nurse asked what happened. The medical student, who remembered his Greek mythology, said that the patient had to pay Charon, the ferryman, to be taken across the river Styx. A nurse said that he was doing rounds at a hospital. There was one two-patient room, and one of the patients was a very loud and confused woman who could be quite a handful. On this particular night, she had a roommate who had passed away shortly before the nurse entered the room. She was DNR, so there was no code blue. When he entered the room, he noticed that the elderly lady, who was usually very loud and confused, was sitting quietly with her hands crossed neatly upon her lap. Something was different, and there was this look of serenity on her face. She asked him in a voice that seemed much younger and clearer than before, "Did you see them, young man? They're so beautiful." He said, "No, ma'am, there's no one else here." She said, "They're right next to you, talking to Mrs. Banneker. The angels. They're so beautiful." He said that he instantly felt every hair of his body stand up, and an electric tingle course up and down his spine. "They're not here for me this time," she said sadly.
Ooh. It's like he could feel their presence. Feel the energy, feel their aura. Some wild stories. Edit. Call it like we see it, man. If y'all see any edits, man, call them out.
This is the true story of the tooth fairy. In the 1950s, there was a woman named Tess Tickle, who was a dentist in Ohio. One day after work, she had discovered her husband having an affair with their neighbor. But before I continue, I advise you to check if your phone is being spied on. Save this video, click here, then here, and if you see this, delete it immediately. Now Tess was angry and heartbroken, but she didn't react. She just told him to pack his bags and leave. Around 7 months later, her husband knocked on the door, begging and asking her to fix his toothache. You see, he didn't have good insurance, and he knew that she used to fix his cavities for free. That's when Tess looked at him and smiled. She said, "Sure, meet me in my office tomorrow night." The next night, she put him under anesthesia. When her ex-husband finally woke up, he realized all his teeth were gone, and Tess was no longer there to be found. The next couple of years, men and women who are unloyal to their partners started reporting waking up to a dark figure who puts them to sleep and steals all their teeth. When police started to investigate, it led them to a cave in the forest. Then, they saw something disturbing. Type part 2 if you want to hear what happens next.
Oh,
Scariest
man.
sounds in space
Type
are
part 2.
100% real. A while back, NASA posted some audio clips on their official website of real sounds captured from objects in space. Now that should be impossible, right? There's no sound in space, so NASA's clearly a phony agency that fakes everything. Okay, relax. As much as I love the tinfoil hat stuff, NASA actually has something called an electromagnetic acoustic transducer, a device that can convert electromagnetic waves and other vibrations emitted by objects Electricity, radio, ultrasonic, the only difference being the length of each wave. Some wavelengths we can detect with our eyes, like the visible light spectrum, and others with our ears, like sound, and still others that we humans can't even detect at all. This gadget takes those waves and maps them to the audio wavelength range that we can hear. As it happens, some electromagnetic waves in space even occur within our audio frequency range, and we can listen to those directly using this device. Well, from those readings, these have been rated among the scariest sounds in space that NASA has ever recorded. That just sounds like a howling breeze in the middle of winter to me. This one makes sense to me. A pulsar is a rapidly rotating dead star. I could imagine one would sound like that.
Milky Way. That's the one.
As it is to say, that's exactly what I'd imagine the Milky Way galaxy to sound like.
Is this a supernova?
Nah, bro, that's fake. This one I'm calling cap on. There's no way.
That's cap.
Nah. This one ain't real. That ain't real.
Quasar?
A little scarier, but this one sounds more real to me. Okay. A little creepier. Sounds like there's something going on over there. Now that right there, that's a black hole. Yeah, that's definitely not a place I want to be. Oh, well, looks like that's it. Let me know if you think these sounds are real or not.
Some of those are, I think some of those are cap, especially the supernova. That was like, no, I don't believe a supernova sound like that. If it is, I'll be really, really surprised if a supernova truly sounds like that. But to be able to even hear in space, first time I heard of that.
Things humans weren't meant to see. A man traveled to Egypt and placed a remote-controlled car inside one of the pyramids. The original poster claimed to have found something the government would want to keep a secret. He also wanted to be paid $5 million for the rest of the footage to be revealed, but it never did.
He's going deep into those pyramids. Definitely gonna find something he ain't supposed to see.
As it gets deeper, it shows what appears to be a tall figure inside the chambers.
Definitely need the rest of that.
Me and a bunch of my friends at Fantastic Fest got to see the premiere of Terrifier 3. And not only did I get to see the movie and meet the freaking cast and director of Terrifier 3, I was sincerely blown away. Look, it's no surprise I've been immensely hyped for this movie. And also went into the theater being a big fan of the Terrifier series and wanting to have a good time. But I was not expecting to sincerely really like this as a movie. Because bottom line, this is the best out of the entire Terrifier franchise. Because not only does it dial up the intense scenes with art and the gore to an 11, but it actually has plot and moments with our characters. Now, of course, there's the big question that a lot of people want to know. Is there a moment in the movie that beats the hacksaw scene from Terrifier 1? Is there a moment in Terrifier 3 that beats the room scene in Terrifier 2? And my answer is weird, but that kind of depends upon you. There are some moments in this movie, especially the first 10 minutes, where the specific moment may not be as, heavily gory intense as The Hacksaw or The Bedroom, but the weight of what Art is doing to who he's doing it to is where it gets really intense. Like, they basically took Art from Terrifier 1 and put him in the same tone of movie like Terrifier 2. Yeah, mean, scary Art is back, and he's more brutal than ever. And I think for mainstream audiences, that's going to be the biggest turnoff. But as fans of the Terrifier series, I was laughing through the entire thing. Maybe I'm just messed up, maybe I'm absolutely sick. But just Damien Leone has just an amazing showcase of some messed up gore. Like, the chainsaw scene in particular, talk about moments before disaster. So I'll say this, I absolutely think this is the better of the three films, especially when it comes to just the overall movie aspect of it. The runtime, the editing, the pacing, 1,000 times better. This movie's definitely not going to be for everybody. But if you go in expecting and knowing the tone of the Terrifier films and what Damien Leone is trying to accomplish with them, I think you're really going to love it. Oh, and the Ice Nine Kills song and music video at the end of Terrifier 3 is arguably better than the movie.
If someone is trying to make you decide in a hurry, they are probably giving you a bad deal. Walk away. If someone has a panic attack, start breathing regularly and loudly. The person that is panicking will subconsciously start breathing in rhythm with you. When a group of people laugh, they tend to look at the person they like the most. Nervousness and excitement have the same body reaction, so if you're nervous for a speech, trick yourself into thinking you're actually excited. If you think someone is watching you, fake a yawn, then watch them. Get someone to contribute to an idea and they will more likely accept it. If you whisper to someone, it's more likely they will whisper. They will whisper back even if there's no good reason to lower your voice. If you want to make someone feel uncomfortable, look at their forehead while you're talking to them. If you want somebody to open up to you, ask them a question. If the person only partially answers it, remain silent and keep eye contact. This will pressure the person into talking more. If you want to be more persuasive, reduce the use of the words I think and I believe. Touching someone on their shoulder or on their knee creates a stronger emotional bond with that person. Chew gum if you are still nervous. Our brains assume that if we are eating, then we are not in any immediate danger, lowering our fight or flight response. When you approach a group of people, notice if they turn their feet towards you or away from you. If their feet point away from you, you are probably not welcome. Subtly nodding when people are talking to you indicates that you are genuinely interested in what they are having to say and they're going to like you more. If you take a moment to look at someone's eye color when meeting them, you'll be giving them the perfect amount of eye contact. If there is a mirror behind where you are ordering, you are less likely to be rude because nobody wants to see themselves actually be rude. If you buy the first pitcher at the bar with your friends, you'd be surprised how far you could go by saying, I bought the first one. If someone is making jokes at your expense, act like you can't hear them and ask them to repeat it multiple times. By the time they say it a third or fourth time, nobody's laughing. When someone remembers you, they are most likely going to remember the first memory and the last memory of you. So make sure you always leave a good last impression too. After you have learned how to do something new and have done it yourself, the fastest way to retain that information is to teach somebody else.
True.
If you have a song stuck in your head and you can't get it out, try and listen to the whole song all the way through while singing it. Your brain is treating the song like an unfinished task in your subconscious. Plan something for every Wednesday that you can look forward to. You'll start to look forward to it on Monday, and by the time Wednesday comes around, you're already halfway through the week and almost to the weekend. If you ask someone to do a small favor for you, their subconscious mind is going to register that they like you because they're doing a favor for you. Showing the palms of your hands while talking to someone subconsciously communicates that you have nothing to hide and that you can be trusted. Whenever you're introducing a new idea to someone and you lead with the words, this might not be for you, but it intrigues their interest and makes it feel like it probably is for them. If you need to remember to do something tomorrow, put something in your room out of place. If you don't want to get out of bed, throw your pillow across the room. The next day, you will see this item out of place and it will jog your memory of what you need to accomplish. If you're procrastinating, just stop telling yourself how much work you have to do. This will overwhelm you. Instead, tell yourself you only have to work for 5-10 minutes
and then you're likely going to continue working past those minutes.
True.
People who are lying will normally blink more than normal, hide the palms of their hands, glance up to the right, mess with their hair, or use abnormally long sentences. If you're trying to get over a breakup, do not use fictional scenarios. Imagining your person with someone new is only going to make you more angry and sad about something that's not even real.
Yep.
If you want to create a deeper connection with someone you're interested in, ask them these 2 questions. What do you think we have in common? And what do you like most about me? If you are suffering from racing thoughts, use the 3-3-3 rule. Name 3 things you see, 3 things you hear, and 3 parts of your body. This will help center your mind and bring you back to the present. When someone apologizes for something that you don't feel like was that big of a deal to apologize for, they're probably telling you subconsciously what actually bothers them if it was done to them.
Ooh.
If they apologize for interrupting you, they probably really just don't like being interrupted themselves. Follow for more psychology hacks.
You just freaking blowing our reality right open with those hacks, bro. Here's some music.
That's a shapeshifter. Story time. Growing up in Haiti, or anyone who has Haitian parents can tell you that there is such a thing as shapeshifters, lugauts in Haiti. And that is the reason why they also tell you whenever you hear a cat sounding like that outside your house at a certain time at night, you should not go outside to go see what's wrong with the cat, because usually it's not a cat and you will not live to see or tell the story of what you would witness. So I remember one time we were all in the house. It was late, very, very late. Usually we will stay up even though we cannot be outside at a certain time. If you go to Haiti, you should always listen to the locals when they tell you do not go at a certain area to a certain area or at a certain time go outside. Because trust me, you won't make it back in the house. And I'm not even over exaggerating. But anyway, so we were all in the house. We were young, but there was a bunch of grown-ups in the house also. Everybody's sleeping, and we were all waking up by this big boom that was on top of the house. And in Haitian houses in Haiti, they actually don't have like real like roof like we have here, but they have like metals. So any little thing you can hear it. Even if the rain, we usually were able to fall asleep with the rain sound because it's just so loud and it's so soothing and all that stuff. But when the nightmare starts, trust me, you will hear every single thing. So we're sleeping and we're all waking up at this boom. Even the children, you know how children can sleep real well, right? They sleep through everything. We all were waking up. But the grown-ups already know because they're so used to it. And also we know a well-known lugau in the town that everybody could respect because we know how powerful she is. And a lot of people have been taken out by her, but they can never prove that it was her until one day. So anyways, we're all sleeping and we're waking up by this sound. And we just hear footsteps on top of the house just walking as if like it's like, you know, grains falling in the house, but it's like real loud footsteps, just walking, 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 and all the adults just start praying, and the children were just scared because we're so used to hearing stories about that happening, and eventually it happened to us. So we're like scared, and the adults are praying, even though like voodoo is a religion in Haiti, they still pray. A lot of people pray but still practice voodoo because that's really our religion. Just like the Catholic people, they also practice voodoo, but also they tell you that it's bad. Anyways, so they're praying, they're praying, they're praying. The children are trying to figure out what's going on. While the baby, my aunt had a baby that was just a few weeks old, not even a month, a few weeks old. The baby just kept crying nonstop. And they usually, whenever they come in on top of your house, they're coming for the baby, not children who are a certain age. They're coming for the innocent, right? So the baby's crying. The people are praying, so there's a lot going on, and the noise on top and everything. All of a sudden, the noise stopped, but we hear a cat right by the door, literally right at the door, right? This cat just sounded like a baby. It's literally almost matching the sound of the baby that's crying. The cat sounded like a baby, scratching at the door, making noises, scratching at the door, making noise, and that's when the prayers started louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And eventually, the children fell asleep because the cat just kept going and kept going and kept going. I fell asleep because I was young at the time. Then eventually we heard the story the next day, but then what really made us believe it is what we saw the next day, what we experienced the next day. So we fell asleep. The adults, I guess, continue to do whatever they're doing. The next day we wake up to the horror of everything. The baby that was crying was basically covered and ants, covered head to toe, ants eating the baby's skin, everything. I mean, I should have given you guys a warning. Eating everything. But of course, you know, everything is still intact, but the skin is ant mark, bite marks from the ants. Baby, gone. Pass. Don't know why, don't know how, but the baby's gone. What happened last night happened. Next morning, wake up, baby's gone. And that was the first child that my aunt lost. And then finally after that, she just kept losing children up until 7 kids. She lost 7 kids until she actually stopped having kids. Every time one passed, she has another one. Every time one passed, I'm like, as someone who has common sense, you would think, okay, I'll stop after maybe the 3rd or 4th one. Well, she just kept having children. Eventually, she decided, okay, well, I'm not going to have any more kids if I'm going to keep losing them. But when she had her first son, which is the oldest child, that child survived because she didn't live in the house. She didn't live in that town when she had that child, so that child survived. But eventually, she lost her life to the same thing. And also, I lost my godmom to the same thing. I have a story for that. Also, my older sister who lives right now in the United States, we almost lost her to a neighbor who was practicing brujeria, voodoo. Very good person, good people, but it was a mistake that happened, and we were able to figure it all out. If you guys want to hear about that story, I will tell you. But my mom even sent money for us to buy like coffin for her, preparing for her funeral and everything. Now she's a nurse. Anyway, guys, bye.
Whoa. I mean, that's a shocking story, Seekers. Like I said, we heard that cat sounding like, it definitely was sounding like a person, man. She broke it down for us. What do you guys think, man? We've seen like skinwalkers before, but they said this is shapeshifter, so are they like different things? 2 separate things? Talk about it down below.
Story time on the time that I saw my neighbor who had already passed away going to go get water while I was on my way back from getting water to go to the house. And when I got to the house, I found out that she had passed away that morning, and I didn't even know that. So this was kind of crazy. I'm laughing because I couldn't sleep for a good month and a half after all this happened, right? So I told the story during Halloween a couple years ago on YouTube, and the feedback was crazy. So I figured I'll just bring it back since TikTok people don't know about it. So going back to Haiti, I was very, very young. We had this neighbor that used to sell those things that you will light up at night if you have mosquitoes. They shake like a snake. I don't know what they're called. Maybe if you know, let me know in the comment below. But she used to sell those things, and one day she just felt sick. Very, very sick. We just never saw her. We will go to her. So every time we order, this person will come to the door and give us what we need. But Sister Mary, which is the lady who always gives us the things that we need, just hadn't been showing up. But as a child, I'm like, okay, well, it's her house. Maybe she's either in the house, don't want to come out, or she went to the next town over to go visit her family. And hey, that's a normal thing. You can just go visit your family for like 6 months and then come back, right?
Okay.
So eventually my aunt came and told us that Sister Mary, that was her name, is not feeling well. She's at home, but she's just not feeling well. As children, we just let it go. Okay, well, Sister Mary's sick, whatever. Well, one day, I was sent to get water. It was my turn to go get water. So the way to go get water is basically, it's like 15 minutes away, but you do carry the water, and we take turn in the house as children. They sent different people different days, right? So this one particular day, it was early in the morning, they sent me to go get water. I'd say maybe, but not really early, it was summertime. I'd say around like 10, 11. They sent me to go get water. I went to go collect water.
Right.
And as I was coming back from collecting water, I'm walking down. It's 15-minute walk. I'm carrying the thing on top of my head. I'm walking down, and I saw someone who looks like Sister Mary. And my aunt was saying how frail she was. She's losing a lot of weight, blah, blah, blah. But when I saw this person, she looked just like I remember Sister Mary to be, like how she was before, you know, thick. You know, she wasn't like fat, but she was thick. You know, she looked fine. She looked normal. She didn't look sick. So I saw her. I said hello to her. We're talking. And, you know, I told her, we haven't seen you. We heard that you were sick. Yeah, so we heard that you were sick. How are things doing? You look like you're doing much better now. And she answered me, like normal, like someone she knows, right?
Okay.
So I just went on about my business. I told her have a good day. She told me she was going to go collect water, and she had the bucket in her hand and everything. So I told her have a good day, and I continued on my merry way. So I ended up going home that day, and I told my sister, I'm like, yo, you will never guess who I just saw at the water thing, right? So I told her a whole story about this lady that I just saw, and we know her because she's our neighbor. So I'm like, yeah, I saw her. You know, she looked good. I don't know what Aunt was talking about because she doesn't look sick. Her eyes literally opened up as if she just saw a ghost. I'm like, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? She says, oh, nothing. So I'm like, okay. I just went about my day and continued doing whatever I was doing until a few minutes later, I hear people screaming and yelling. Well, the news have been spreading in the whole town that Sister Mary has passed away. I'm looking at my sister and I'm thinking, what the fuck? What do you mean Sister Mary passed away? I just saw Sister Mary. What do you mean? And she looked fine.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's yelling. Nobody's telling me what's going on. And then finally, my sister told me, oh, yeah, Sister Mary died this morning. I'm like, there's no way. How could Sister Mary die this morning? I just told you I saw her this morning. She's like, well, that's the crazy thing because you're telling me you just saw her and Sister Mary died before you went to go collect water.
Ghost confirmed? Spirit?
From there on, I kid you not, I could not speak. I could not move. Everything was crazy.
Here we go.
Man, what do you guys think about that story? Was that like a ghost or she communicating with spirit or something? Like a man, she's talking to a person, but they already passed. So, who is she talking to?
Virginia teen
Insane.
dies after she tried to summon a Haitian voodoo god, Papa Legua. So Love decided to dabble in the darker voodoo arts, but she ain't got no knowledge of how this thing really go. That's why you gotta watch when you practicing something without having a self-evaluation journey that you've been on. You heard me? I don't know why you thought summoning an African descendant god will help you. Papa in Haiti is known as the Great Executioner, and it's said that he could speak many different languages and persuade people at his will. And once again, he resides at the spiritual crossroads. So let me give y'all some insight every time you face with a difficult decision you gotta make. Rather that being life or death decisions or career-based decisions. Quit thinking about calling on some deity gonna point you in the right direction if you haven't done the self-work. Because you could get fooled by a spirit that you might think is holy and lovely for a spirit that's there to take over your will. So she gets in a Facebook group and start telling the people that she's about to start doing new spell work and ain't nothing wrong with trying new things. Alright. And I quote, let people have their own religion. So she started telling people, stop saying I'm from God or you can be from God. I'm wicked and I always will be. So shut the F up and let me do what I want to do. Alright. Now wicked means a religion influenced by pre-Christian beliefs and the practices of Western Europe that affirms the supernatural powers. It's a form of paganism. And this has nothing to do with voodoo practices. So now I guess her ex wants to get into it and had a fallout. So she get on Facebook talking about she about to go put her ex on her ex-girlfriend. Now mind you, her ex-girlfriend is African American. Let me give you a little quick insight on when to put spells on people or hex work on people. And they kind of taught you that on Vampire Diaries with Bonnie. Now remember when she spoke with her ancestors and her ancestors told her, if you keep drawing power from your ancestors, it's going to be a blowback to that. Which is why when Bonnie would use her powers, her nose would start bleeding. Because whatever you take from nature, you must replenish back. Which is called the circle of life, baby. Now here's an example up here where somebody also was trying to use that voodoo stuff and it fired back on them. I prayed for lots of money even though I had money. I was greedy and I stopped my voodoo sacrifices. I was punished by losing my leg in an accident. I'm getting money which is worthless to me. I'd rather have my legs back. The woman I wanted to marry left me because of my leg. I lost my promising career and I had to totally change my college studies for a degree that was worthless to me. All because I messed with the spirits. And you keep on playing and not listening, you're gonna learn the hard way, baby. So back to Kate. So now we get a picture where she tried to make a voodoo doll that looked like her. Got the girl hair twisted like dreads. We don't know what petition she wrote. We don't know if she had needles in the doll. She might have even had her real hair samples in the damn doll, you hear me? Now I want to know, baby, what in your right mind think that you can call on an African deity to do some harm to an African person and you are a European woman? In what world do you think that makes sense, baby? Like, come on now, love. And then people tried to warn you before doing this. They told you not to go along with this. They told you not to move forward with this. Practicing other people's African spirituality when you're not African is dangerous. So now I start getting beaten for. You saw Papa Lego today, huh? You thought you saw him. And that's the problem. You're getting indulged in something where you never was initiated inside the culture, mama. You gotta think, man. Nah. Kayla was a beautiful woman, had a beautiful soul. She done a lot for her community. She was a stand-up woman. She just got involved in some things without the proper knowledge that led to some bad outcome. Nah. So Caitlin eventually died in a bathtub, and she left behind a beautiful daughter named Aaliyah, which is very sad, baby. She adored her daughter greatly. Just for her daughter to have to go through that, prayers and condolences to her family. Now later on, a few spiritual leaders did a reading on the woman and noticed that she wasn't summoning Papa Legua, but Barun. And because of shows like American Horror Story, where they gave you a mixture of Barun and Papa Legua, they had you thinking that he was Papa Legua, but Papa Legua on American Horror Story, that was actually depicted as Barun.
What do you guys think of that story, man? He broke it down. All the way down, man. He went more definite on that story.
Good morning. It's 9:34 in the morning, so it's time for another story. And this time the story is being recorded late because I spent my entire morning talking about the anguish of what it means to be a black woman in America. So today calls for a feel-good story, and I'm going to tell you the most popular folktale in Haiti. That's right.
Okay.
It's The Little Mermaid, but darker. This most likely will be divided in 3 parts or 4 because I'm taking a lot of time to talk about. But just so you understand, the majority of the time the story is being told, the protagonist is a fish. But usually as you grow up, it makes more sense that the protagonist is a mermaid or a merman. Most of the time the protagonist is male because the leading romance protagonist, the second one, is a woman who goes to the water. She's a little girl. But at times you will find that the protagonist is a mermaid, a woman, because the leading person that's going to be the love interest is a little boy. Alright, let's get started. The Little Mermaid, with a Haitian epice. Also, a lot of Haitians believe in mermaids. So there was a young girl, and we're going to call her Rose, who had a brother named Richard, a younger brother. Every morning they would go to the spring to get water to do their daily chores. Whether that's cooking, cleaning, whatever they needed the water for, they would go to the river to get it. One morning, Rose heads to the river by herself, and as she's getting some water, she has a ring, a silver ring on one of her fingers, obviously, and it slips down and it falls in the stream. Now, she was really fond of this ring, so obviously she's really sad. She's like, oh my god, I lost my ring, wah. And then as she's like frantically looking for it, out pops the head. And in this story, I'm going to make him a mermaid. So out pops a little head. And so as the head goes up, she realizes it's a fish. It's a man, but it's a fish. And the fish spits up her ring. So she takes the ring and she thanks the fish. And the fish, shockingly to her, speaks. The fish says, hi, I'm Tezin. And she says, hi, I'm Rose. Tezin says, this is my water. This is my spring. If you want water, like clean water, because your water is clean, but I know where the real good shit is. If you want better water, you could just holler at me and I'll go get it for you. And she goes, oh, thank you. But how do I holler at you? And so he teaches her this little song. And so he goes, if you ever need to reach me, sing this song. Tezin, Tezin, mon ami, Tezin. Tezin, Tezin, mon ami, Tezin. You get it? It literally translates to Tezin, Tezin, my friend, Tezin. But in the book, she has it written in a more like, I don't know. She has it written how she wants. But that's how I remember the song.
So, this happened in Miami. And yeah, I still live in Miami. I was like around 6 or 7. This was like back in 2006, I believe. So, we used to stay in this building. And in the building, it used to be full of Haitians, full of Haitians. If you're Haitian and you know what's a lugawu, then you know what I mean. So, it was one night. It was me and my brother. We was in the room. We was sleeping. My mama and my dad was in their room.
Okay.
So we were like 2. I was saying like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We sleeping. You know, we little kids. You know, we sleeping. You know, blah blah. Then randomly something happened, bruh. Something told us to get up. We woke up. Literally, me and him woke up. And I swear, bruh, this Lugao lady, bruh, we've been having problems with for the longest. She was in our room. Like, she was literally in our room, bruh. Like, literally in our room.
Doing
staring
what?
at us. And we was on the wall. We, like, the TV right here and the wall right there. And we were stuck on the wall. We don't know what to do. But she was mostly coming from my little brother. Because, you know, my little Lugaos, they like young kids. If they see a beautiful young child, they're going to take them. So, as a big brother, I was not going to let that shit happen. So I fought her. You feel me? I'm getting right with her a little bit. You know, she low-key beat me up. But, you know, I'm getting right with her a little bit. Give her a quick soklo and everything. Damn punch me in my rib. To this day, like, if I'm running so fast, my right hip will start hurting like crazy. So we fighting, boom, boom, boom. My little brother, he yelling. Then I start yelling. Then my mom came, barged in the room. Then she just disappeared, like boom. So my mom was like, okay, my point. A couple days later, man, my auntie, my mom, even my dad, my uncle, they all went after that lady. They whooped that lady out. They banged on the door. They did everything it takes. To this day, bruh, that shit still scarred the fuck out of me. But it's part of being a Haitian, you know. That's what most Haitians go through in life. Most. I can't say all, but most. You feel me? But yes, Lugaos, these vampires in Haiti, that's called Lugaos, they are real. They are real. If you're from Haiti, you know what I mean. Like, even American kids, Haitian American kids, y'all know what I mean about Lugaos, bro. This shit real. It's real. Like, it's really real. It's not American vampires.
Damn, we put a vampire at 7? Like I said, we're checking out a different side of TikTok, so these stories, man. Freaking shocking me, bro. Breaking down the culture. But at 7, he had to fight off to protect his brother, and he did it too. Pops to him, man.
I have been like damn near harassing me for this.
Lugaos again.
Creepy story time.
Trying to get at
it all
him.
happened in Haiti. My mom was throwing a party, like a little get together, and everyone was having fun, but it was getting late, so everybody had to go home. After they went home, my mom heard a big sound coming from outside. It sounded like this. Yeah, like a cow. So she went outside to check. She saw a huge cow, the size of the road. No, literally, the size of the road.
What the hell was it doing?
They know exactly why they're scared, but you might not. So let me tell you. Make it a long story short, nobody with that much money is just gonna be handing it around. Oh, it must be juju money. They're not falling for that. But this is not the point of this video. I wanted to make this video to tell you that it is the month of December, quite possibly the worst month of the year for the normal citizens, but the best month of the year for people doing witchcraft. My grandma always told me the month of December is the devil's month. Yeah.
Really?
The devil goes hard on this month of December because it is the last month of the year. So he needs to put in as much work as possible. So my number one advice to you would be, do not, absolutely not, pick up any type of logo from the floor. Yeah, no, they will get you. And be kind. It goes a very long way.
I know that about the month of December now. I better start paying attention.
Yes, in Haiti, please mind your business. Story time. This one is brought to you by my uncle. This is a Lugao story, so things might get a little weird, but bear with me. So this lady, we're gonna call her Katya, okay? She is a SW. If you don't know what a SW is, just look it up. But that night, she was out on the street, running the streets, you know, trying to sell some puss. She was standing out there all day. She ain't had no customers. So it's getting late and she's like, you know what, maybe I should leave. But right at the moment that she's thinking that she's gonna leave, this guy in this rich, expensive car pulls up. And for that time, for somebody to have a car like that, that meant that that person had money, okay? It meant that that person meant business. So the car rolls up in front of the SW and he's like, yo, how much for? And she gives him the prices. Depending on what you want, I can provide it for you. He wanted to take her home. He didn't want service on the spot. So he wanted to take her to his house. So she agreed. She gets in his car and they start to drive away. Now the guy, there's really nothing suspicious or off-putting about him, considering like she's a SW. She's used to weirdos. She's used to creeps. So this is like, there's nothing standing out about this guy. He's on the steering wheel and she's next to him on the passenger seat. So they're driving, and y'all. And at some point, it looks like this driver is like basically falling asleep. Like he's just disassociating from the wheel and he looks like he's tired. She doesn't think anything of it and they keep going. They get a little bit further down the road. She saw something from her peripheral morph. So she does one of those and notices that the man who was driving the car turned into a dog.
What the fuck?
With his two front paws on the wheel. This SW is witnessing a dog driving a car when a few seconds before it was a man. So the SW proceeds to take out her cigarette. She had a cigarette like in the back of her ear. She proceeded to take out the cigarette. She lights up the cigarette and starts to smoke. As she lights her cigarette, she starts to chant. She says, moi-même c'est petit Jacques Maget mieux. Pita au moins Jacques Maget. Jacques Maget is a loi. He don't play about his children, so I think that was just her reinforcing her protection. After she says that like 3 times, Jacques Maget c'est petit tout, the freaking dog next to him looks like something startled the dog, and the motherfucker started morphing back into a human. And now it's back to a man driving the car. Now, of course, the story does not end here. A man looks over to her and says, I feel weird. Did you see anything weird? Do you feel anything weird? The SW looking straight ahead at the road says, nope. He said, you didn't sense anything? She said, no, I've just been in this car smoking a cigarette. She said, why? You feeling something? He says, yeah, I felt a little weird, so I just wanted to know if you saw something, if you felt anything. She said, nah, I ain't see nothing. Must be something in the air. He proceeded to drive all the way to his house. She got there and was absolutely horrified. So while the guy went to go take a shower, she went into his kitchen, grabbed a knife, and kept it underneath her pillow. The whole time she was laying down like this, one arm underneath the pillow, holding on to the weapon. She would go on and do the do. She held on to that knife whole time, just in case. After they were done, it was way too dark and way too late for her to leave anyway, so she proceeded on staying the night, but she did not sleep all night. All night, she had that one hand under that pillow. The next morning, they woke up, he paid her, and she went on her way. But I was like, wait a minute, she went through with it? And she had to. If she had switched up anywhere in that timeline, that would have been it for her. Anyway, if you guys like these spooky Haitian stories, you can expect that I will be dropping another story time tomorrow. And I have an entire playlist of like 40-something videos, so go ahead and check them out. Go ahead and leave me a follow on TikTok and on Instagram. And leave me a comment letting me know what was your genuine reaction to this story. Also, thank you guys for 50,000 followers. Aye, boo-boo.
That's crazy that she still went through with it.
Not only are you not safe on the outside, be careful with how you reject men.
Not everybody can handle rejection, man. Some of them that take it way too hard and it freaking breaks them down as a person, man. And they do horrible things. You guys, seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're true seekers seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support, man. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys hit that post notification bell so you always get notified when I drop a video. And hit that like button, man. It's going to help push into the algorithm, man. Like I said, we're taking this day by day. We're going to take off one day, but thank you guys for joining me on my journey. You guys are going to catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.